The devastation in Florida after Hurricane Milton, as we learn more about its huge scale across the state. Neighborhood after neighborhood is still underwater at this hour. We know at least 16 people were killed. We also saw an incredible effort by first responders to reach those trapped by the storm. Hundreds of people and their pets have been rescued. That's a good part of the story. Vlad Dutier kicks off our coverage. He's in St. Petersburg. Vlad, I'm glad you're there to tell the story. The pictures are heartbreaking. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Gayle. Good morning. At this time, 24 hours ago, we'd already seen some of the damage the wind had affected, toppling a construction crane and tearing off the roof of this Major League Baseball stadium. But with the storm surge not nearly as large as feared in the Tampa Bay area, there was a collective sigh of relief. And then we saw what happened further inland. In daylight, Hurricane Milton's devastation on Florida's west coast became clear. The storm's historic rainfall submerged communities as first responders spent Thursday rescuing people stranded in homes and apartment buildings, and this 14-year-old boy floating on debris. In Tampa, we heard about evacuations at an assisted living community dedicated to caring for veterans. 135 senior citizens rescued from the inundated facility.
Get you taken care of. There you go.
When we arrived, we saw street after street filled with water, up to people's waists in some spots.
I'm gonna get you close.
We rode along with a rescue team from the sheriff's office as folks flagged them down from their waterlogged homes, seeking a lift back to dry land.
I have to sit down and think what I'm gonna do because I lose everything. Everything is wet.
We met Lillian Bikar just moments after the 80-year-old left everything back at her soaked home.
This is a bad dream. Very bad dream.
But it's not just first responders helping evacuees.
We didn't know the water was going to be like this.
We found Junior Gene in a wobbly raft, checking on stranded neighbors.
Correct?
How many people have you rescued?
About 12.
12 people?
Yes, sir.
Gene invited me in to see what people here are dealing with.
This is a one-story home. Junior and his neighbors and his family members were able to escape only through that window. All of these houses in this neighborhood are completely submerged underwater. They've lost everything. And on top of that, this water is contaminated.
A swamp of stormwater and overflowing sewage, contaminating people's homes and lives.
But you're all right?
Yes.
But the water's got to be in your home.
It is in my house.
We spotted Yamile Barrio peeking through her window.
How are you doing after all this?
I started crying, but God got us.
Kneeling on her couch inside, with the murky water swallowing many of the belongings she'd worked so hard to get.
These are the things that you've acquired over a life that I'm sure hasn't been easy.
No. I was in the street for 3 years, and it took me a hard time to get where I'm at. Yeah. Back again.
Yamile and her neighbors told me that the water didn't even start to rise until after the storm had passed. They weren't even in an evacuation zone. And now she, just like so many of her neighbors, Tony, are going to have to find a place to stay. It's a heartbreaking story.
It really is, Vlad. Thank you for bringing us that story. The intensity of the suffering down there and the destruction is really eye-opening. We really appreciate your coverage. Thank you.